Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. I've got to tuck my microphone away. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for getting up out of bed and coming to practice. With this week's practice, I was thinking, when you get into this rhythm of home practice, sometimes things can feel a little bit, what's the word? Same. So what we're going to do today is some different variations of back bends, and they're going to play with our proprioception, our balance, our sense of self in space, and use some new muscles that we don't often ignite in the practice. So it's going to be pretty playful. I think the world is quite serious sometimes, and we can come into yoga taking our yoga practice very seriously. So this morning with the practice, be light. It's a bit childlike, it's a bit playful. I said to Sasha this morning, I want you to wobble. You probably will fall out. So I want you all to feel a bit unstable, a bit steady at times. It'll be interesting. And I think today the props that you'll need, if you have a yoga block, great, we'll use that at one point. But if you don't have one, do not worry at all. You might want to have a rolled up towel handy. That would be great. As for a strap as well, or the tie of your robe, something where it might help us stretch out our shoulders a little bit. And I think that's it. So welcome to your flow practice. We are going to start on our backs. Today we will lay over a prop just to get some opening through the chest. So if you have that block, you can pop that underneath your mid back. Or if you, would you like a rolled up towel stash instead? No, you're happy? And do you want another one for your head? Okay, so lay on your back. Now, as for your legs, you can feel free to have your legs stretched down, or you can, if you want, have the soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana. It really doesn't matter, but make sure your back is relaxed down over that prop, your bottom's touching the floor, and you can breathe. So as you settle over that prop, it's okay if you need to take a moment or two just to get your positioning right. This is just to give you a little bit of opening across the chest, as we spend most of our lives rounded over steering wheels, computers, and we just need a little bit of space in this area. So in your own time, I want you to take a big breath in through your nose, sigh out through your mouth, and again, inhale through the nose, sigh out, and once more in, let it go. And now allow that breath to move in through the nose and out through the nose. And as you're breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, you are in a slight spinal extension, but the breath might reach a little bit deeper down into the low lungs. Maybe that belly will still seem to be inflating a little bit and deflating a little bit. Given the postures we're doing today will be at times a little bit interesting for balance or stability, what I want to do is a bit of a square breath today. In for 4, pause for 4, out for 4, and pause for 4 again. I'll be doing the counting. But what I want you to be aware of is how you pause and that you're not holding your breath. So not holding your breath like you're going underwater, but instead that you're just taking a pause. You're neither breathing in nor breathing out. And this is a very useful yoga tool called retention. So when you are ready, you might exhale the air through the nose. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, in, Pause. Out. Pause. Breathe in. And just allow that rhythm of breath to become a little more natural to you now. There might be less of a retention or less of a pause between. But at times today, especially if you're doing any balance work, I want you to observe that there might be a pause in the breath, but there's not a tense hold of the breath. So with this last bit of time we have here over the prop, good morning, Maureen, you might want to lengthen your arms past your ears, open up your armpits a little more. It's optional, only if it's not too strong. Just observing what sensation you notice if you are adding that in. And then whenever you're ready, you're going to take all the time you need to roll over via your side. Just remove that prop in some way that's quite kind and gentle and reconnect your back with the floor, and maybe your knees will bend or they can straighten out, whatever works for you. Just observe sensation in your back. In a flow practice, we don't take much time just to observe, much stillness. So just take this time. Well done. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Hug your legs in momentarily. And you might want to massage the back into the floor. Just make any movements that feel good. Beautiful. Just do a very brief mobilization of your spine. So you can open up your arms into a T shape in your own time and let your legs drop over to the right-hand side. And so it doesn't matter what your legs are doing really, if you prefer to cross the legs or stack the legs, but I just want you to feel a little bit more mobility through the spine. Really connect that left shoulder down into the earth and breathe. When you're ready, knees back to center, inhale, and legs off to the other side on the exhale. And again, reconnecting that right shoulder down into the floor if it has lifted at all. And just observing for you if left or right feels a little bit tighter, a little bit different to the other side. Wonderful. Whenever you're ready, legs can come back through center. You're going to rock yourselves back and forth. We're going to meet over in hands and knees. So take your time. Tabletop is the eventual destination. There's no rush. So once you come around into tabletop, you know where you're working. We're going to start mobilizing through the spine a little bit. So you can do traditional cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly, look through. And on the exhale, belly button to spine, round through the shoulder blades and dome. Or you can make it creative. You can roll in any way you want. I just want you to wake up your back a little bit because we're going to be doing quite a bit of work on these lovely back muscles and they just need a little bit of mobility. We've got a couple more breaths here to move and mobilize and play. And you'll just come back in your own time to a more neutral position. And on your inhale, lengthen your right leg back behind you and floating that right leg up off the floor. And already we're going to do this step by step because I think we often add things without noticing what is the effect of this posture on my back, on my butt muscles, on my breath. So observing that first. Gorgeous. From here, inhale, lengthen. Knee to nose, you round. Exhale, tuck, tuck, tuck. Inhale, lengthen back. Exhale, tuck, knee to nose. Inhale, you lengthen. Exhale, tuck. Beautiful. As you lengthen that leg out, option now to add your left arm. So your left arm might reach forward. Again, just observing with a couple of breaths. How does your back feel? Good. Take an in-breath and tuck. Exhale. Now, if this is a little bit odd or a little bit off balance today, don't worry. You can always go with just the leg again. Exhale, tuck. Sorry, Sash. Beautiful. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to tuck. Very good. Now inhale, lengthen. Your option is 1, to just stay in this full extension, or sweep the hand down by the left hip and fly the arm, bend the knee. Yes, you can go for the foot if you have it there. So don't worry if it's not easily attainable to find that foot, but if you have it, kick the foot up and back. The other night I was practicing Vicky's class from home, and those of you who practice on carpet or rugs, at times today's practice is going to be more interesting for you. Take one more big breath and release. Very good. Now hands and knees back to the floor. Now you will find some muscles are definitely awake. Yes, go for it, Sash. Natural instinct might be to adjust your back, to wind out, because certain muscles just switched on that were very much asleep before. So do what you need to do. So as I was saying, carpet adds another element of difficulty for your balance. So today, be very playful if you're on carpet. I had to be the other night. So lengthen your left leg back behind you. Just for a moment, observe in detail. What does that do? Take an inhale. Exhale, tuck in. Inhale, you lengthen. Exhale, tuck. In breath. Exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, lengthen back. Now adding the right arm is optional. Exhale, tuck in. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, tuck. You can see how Sasha's bringing that elbow into her hip. Inhale, lengthen. Last one. So she's not just touching the knee as she comes in. She's all the way to the hip, which gets more core. Inhale, lengthen. Now sweep the hand by the hip. Bend the knee is optional. Maybe kneeling dancer. So as you kick that foot back, your breath is strong. Yes, because it's very easy to hold the breath here. Try to breathe a little deeper. For 3, for 2. Well done. Take your time to extend back out. Hand and knee to the floor, and just a little bit of love for your back. So your option here is to take a little bit of a child's pose after you've mobilized. So you just want to do what feels good for you. And then if a little bit of a spinal lengthen, to just let those muscles lengthen and get some space after all that activation, might be a good idea. Breathe wide into your back. Take one more long, deep breath here. Down dog will be your destination in your own time. And when you come back into that down dog, if you wish to pedal out the feet or mobilize in any way, you can. Going to come into a little bit of rolling or convoluted dog. So with that movement, rise up on the balls of the feet, ripple forward through your plank. Yes, we'll go this direction first. Bend the knees, ripple back. So taking your rolls here, rippling forward on the in-breath. On the exhale, bend the knees and roll back. Maybe this will mobilize and open through your chest. One more this way. And from down dog, you change direction. The knees bend. You spring forward. Down dog. Back you go. 2 more. And you'll find that the core muscles will engage and pull your bottom back up to the sky. Down dog when you're ready. Walking your hands to the back of your mat. Taking a half lift. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, you fold. And as you fold, it does not matter the position. You might be letting the arms hang. You might ragdoll. You might let the palms turn up. Beautiful. You can choose movement. You can choose stillness. I just want you to observe how's your back, how your hamstrings. This is the first big contact with your hamstrings today. So just observe. Take a couple more breaths here. When you're ready, release the arms, press the feet into the floor, rolling up, arms reach up and wide. Good morning, open up through the chest. Exhale, you fold. Walking the hands forward, plank position. Very nice. We just need to get a little more strengthening, awakening. So do bring your feet together to touch. Both hands will stay on the floor. Roll into the outside blade of your left foot. Stack the right foot on top and keep weight in your right hand. How's your breath? Try not to hold the breath. So a retention is okay, but often we go into that tension hold here. Avoid. Good. Back through center and switch. So just being very aware of that breathing. A brief pause or retention is okay, but not that tension hold. Very good. Back through center. Shift the weight forward, knees to the floor, and lower slowly all the way to the earth. On your inhale, low cobra, roll the shoulders back, chest lifts. And exhale, you lower. Inhale again, lift and lengthen. And exhale, lower. Last time, inhale, lift, lengthen. Now palms might hover off the earth as the neck is long. And today you might lift the feet as well. Hands might fly by your hips. Option to work here with just this flight in locust. You can even clasp your hands behind your back if you prefer. We're waking up the back line of the body. That's the goal. For 3, for 2, gorgeous, release. Let that head drop for a moment. Let the hands and head drop. And just notice how your breath is. Lovely. We do need just a little bit of a rolling cobra today. Hands off the edge of your mat, up on the fingertips, lifting your chest and ribs off the floor. Look over the right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, dropping that chin. Draw that semicircle to inhale, lift and twist. Look over the left. Make it your own from here. You can go with half circles, you can go with full circles, you can be creative. Just doing what feels good to mobilize your back. If you're going full circle, yeah, change direction as well, go the other way. And whenever you're ready, you'll come back through center. Down dog is the destination in your own time. So take your time. Heading on back, fingers spread, neck is relaxed. Once more, can you walk your hands to the back of your mat? Taking a half lift on your in-breath. Exhale, you fold. Arms reach up and wide. Open up the chest, maybe a light extension. And exhale, you fold. Walking your hands forward, plank position. From here on in, knees on or off the floor is up to you. Chaturanga, exhale. Back bend of your choice, in breath. Down dog, your exhale. Good, take another full breath here. Let it go. Shift the gaze now to the top of the mat, Utkatasana, chair pose. Very good, arms reach up. So your position today is entirely up to you. It does, yeah, nice, Sasha. So she's chosen something that suits really nicely her shoulders and her chest. You can choose whatever you want, box shoulders, arms up by the ears, or in that serving position like sash. Take one more full deep breath. The exhale, forward fold. Sweep the hands past your legs, clasp your hands behind your back, shoulders away from the ears before you move the hands away from the back. For 3, for 2, sweep the hands past the feet, reach up to the ceiling, light back bend, in breath. And on your exhale, you fold. Take a half lift, inhale, step or float back, full vinyasa at your own rhythm. And if ever you want to skip those flows, go for it. Take your flow. Down dog is your destination. From your downward facing dog, lift your right leg, peel open your hip and bend your knee. Now today I do want you to keep the shoulders, fairly stable. We just need that little bit of stability through the shoulders and back today. So feeling like you're getting a bit of a twist through the spine by pressing that right shoulder or armpit more down toward the earth. Take an inhale here, knee to nose, your exhale. Kick back, your in-breath. Touch your nose, exhale. Kick back, in breath. Knee to your nose, placing your right foot and walking your hands around to the back of the mat. Yes, it's a bit more Soma Chi style. Frame your left foot at the back of the mat, kick your left leg up and back. Knee to your nose, place your foot, walking the hands around to the front of the mat. So we're just warming you up a little bit. Frame that right foot, right leg kicks up and back. Now knee to the nose, kneeling lunge, Anjaneyasana. Place that back knee down. Take your time to set up through the arms. Arms reach up. So we just want to open up through your spine a little bit here. So let's start with hands behind your head. So you can choose, to cradle your head in your hands here. If you prefer to have your palms together with the thumbs on the nape of the neck, you can work that in like a prayer position, whatever works for you. A little bit of opening through the chest, the armpits. So push that right foot into the floor while pulling up a little bit through the abdominals to get that little bit of extension. One more big deep breath. One more after this one. Beautiful. The arms will reach back up to the ceiling, and we're going to, from here, wind the arms back, straighten out the front leg. That's it. Inhale, sweep through, you lunge, and on your exhale, wind those arms back. Good. So you want to create as much shoulder mobility as you can here. So big open circles through the shoulders. Let's do 2 more. Beautiful. One more in your own rhythm. Once we come back into that half split, you can hold. Your hands might touch the floor. It does not matter what you do with your hands, really. I just want you to get some space through your hamstrings, some length in your neck. Deep breaths. For those of you who do practice with me frequently, this next part will be fairly familiar. The hands come to the inside of that right leg, palms into the floor, sweep that right leg back to the back of the mat. You've ended up in a kneeling side plank. Yes, Sasha has nicely adjusted that left foot for more stability. From here, reach your arm past your ear. Inhale, lengthen. Sweep the arm past the face. Bend into the back knee. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, sweep back and bend. So you're again getting that big shoulder mobility. And as you come back, you might be opening up through that hip a little bit too. One more big circle. And you finish off in that kneeling side plank, reaching to the ceiling. Option 2 from here, float that right leg off the earth. Hello, glutes. From here, you might be bending into the knee, Chapasana, taking hold of the foot. This is an important step. So whether you want to pull the heel into the bum or you kick that foot back, can you maybe even try both so you can see what the difference is between the two? If you notice that kicking that foot back creates a resistance, that gives you stability, whereas pulling the heel into the bum will give you more stretch in the quad, but less stability. Okay, when you're ready, both hands to the floor. You'll need to adjust your left foot, kick that right leg up and back, 3-legged dog. That's it. Shift forward through plank. Inhale, vinyasa. You can keep that leg lifted optionally. Yes, good, Sasha. So see how you're feeling if you're adding in those leg lifts. Some of you I know might be adding in your switch changes or even your chin stand, but we're not going into that today. We'll wait till we're back in the studio together. From here, inhale, left leg lifts. Peel open the hip, bend that knee, and remember then to adjust the shoulders. Yeah, so that left shoulder is wrapped down toward the floor more. You're getting more of a spinal twist and a hip opener through that left hip. Take an inhale. Knee to nose, exhale. Kick back in breath. Knee to nose, exhale. Kick back. Knee to nose, you place the foot and you're crawling around to the back of the mat to frame your right foot so that on your inhale, kick up and back through the leg. Exhale, place the foot. Walking back around, this is almost on a retention. And then the inhale, kick up and back. Good. Bring that foot through, kneeling lunge. Yeah, some of you are like, that was quick. What happened there? Sasha's quite familiar with that movement. back knee down, the arms reach up, Anjaneyasana, and we're going to get that space through the chest and the armpits, so hands behind your head or neck in any capacity, just in a place that we can get that opening that really does do exactly the opposite of what's sitting behind a computer or a steering wheel or over a bench top would do. Getting that extension through the chest, a gentle pulling upward through the front of the pelvis. Beautiful. The arms reach back up to the ceiling. Good. Take an inhale. Wind the arms back, straighten out the leg. Inhale, you lunge. Exhale, wind back. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. In and out. Last one, and you'll settle in. Your Ardha Hanuman, your half split, whatever it looks like, entirely up to you. Maybe the toes do flex back toward your face to get a little bit more into the calf. The spine might round a little bit to get more stretch through the upper back and neck. That's optional. Just taking this brief moment to pause and feel the stretch. Whenever you are ready, hands to the inside of that left leg, plant your palms, kneeling side plank, sweep the left leg to the back of the mat, and you'll watch here. Yes, nice adjustment of your right foot. Left arm reaches up, reach over the ear, extend in breath, exhale, sweep it past your face, bend into the knee. So this is really about building fluid mobility in areas that might not otherwise be worked. Beautiful. One more big circle here, reaching over the ear, full circle. Then you'll meet back in that kneeling side plank. Make sure you're stable to float that left leg off the earth, either staying there or bend the knee. Experimenting with both perhaps today, either pulling the heel into the butt for more quadricep stretch, and that might be a little bit less stability. Or you might be kicking the foot back away from you, which really creates that leverage or opposing forces. And that opposing forces will be important today. So before we finish up this pose, one more kick back into the hands, open up through the chest. Well done. Hands to the floor, adjust your right foot, 3-legged dog. Tuck the right toes, kick the left leg up and back. Shift forward through plank, foot on or off the floor, chaturanga. Downward facing dog. From your down dog, shift the gaze to the top of the mat and malasana this time. Beautiful. So whether you're stepping or hopping to outside those hands, just getting this little bit of squat, this lengthen through the spine. And breathe into your back. Wonderful. When you're ready, booty to the sky, let your head hang. Yeah, feet might wiggle a little closer together for comfort. Wonderful. So we're going to grab our strap and roll up to standing. So if you don't have a strap, tie of your robe, scarf, anything that you can hold between your hands. So grabbing that strap, we're going to do a bit of flossing. So I want you to maybe turn toward our direction, Sash. That'd be lovely. And from here, with the strap in front of you, inhale to wind all the way back. And on the exhale, you come forward. So we're going to start with that simple movement, the inhale to open back. And so just noticing for you, if it's hard to get those hands behind you, the hands need to be further apart. If you're not feeling any resistance or stretch, the hands need to be closer together. Beautiful. So from here, I'm going to allow you to become a little more creative. So you might want to, from here, even work a little bit of circling. So just do what feels right for you. Yeah, nice. So you might wind it around, just doing anything that feels nice for the mobility. And Sash is working all the way through the spine now by winding back. She's worked into the armpits, pulling from side to side. That's one of my favorites as well, is when you pull from one side to the other and bend into one arm. It's lovely. So just really mobilizing, getting juices flowing through those shoulders and through that chest. You tempted me very much to put this in the lunge after you said you did it the other day, Sash. I was very, very tempted, but we'll add something else in instead. So whenever you're ready, you'll come back through center. You can pop that strap off to the side. And I just want you to observe any heat or blood flow that might be in the shoulders. Come to the top of your mat, your own time. So from here, some of us will just be taking a forward fold. Some of you I know will want to add a bit of a crow here. Do as you wish. So your choice. You can come forward for that forward fold. Yeah, beautiful. Sash is doing a lovely variation, tucking her palms underneath her feet. Some of you I know will feel comfortable in a crow. Go for it. So just taking a few more breaths here. And my crows, I want you to be really aware of your breath into your back. Pull your heels to your bum and keep the gaze forward. Wonderful. Maybe just one more breath. Maybe my crows are springing back. My forward folders, take your time to step back or spring back. Down dog in your own time. Of course, if you want that full flow for heat, you can add that. Otherwise, just hold the down dog and feel that lengthening through the chest. Beautiful. Inhale, right leg reaches up. Peel open the hip, bend the knee. And knee to nose, crescent lunge, placing that foot, rising on up. Very good. Let the shoulders just gently drop away from the ears. From here, sweep the hands down around behind your back, clasping your hands, rolling the shoulders back. Humble warrior variation, so don't change the feet. So it's going to be more challenging than your usual humble warrior. So if you find here you're feeling a little unstable, push back through that heel. And if it feels like you want the extra challenge, the neck can drop and look at that back left foot. But otherwise, you might want to keep your gaze forward to keep yourself stable. For 3, for 2, warrior 2. Unravel and open back. Lovely. From your warrior 2, inhale, exalt your warrior, opening up through that side body. And Trikonasana, straightening out through that right leg. Lengthen and tip. 3 unravels. Breathe in, bend. Sweep that hand down past the leg and inhale, unravel, open. Breathe in, bend. 2 more. Exhale, open. Breathe in. And open. And just a little bit of a hold in your trick just to get that space through the hamstrings. Get those quadratus lumborum, those QL muscles in the back engaged. How's your neck? Where is it most comfy? Good. For 3, 2. Unravel back through warrior 2. Very good. One more exalt. Now this time, after the exalt, we are going to use a bit of leverage, half moon. So as you reach forward, lean forward, float that left foot off the earth. Some of you might have been using your blocks or gotten your blocks here for a bit more height. Doesn't matter either way. Of course, if you wish to bend the knee, take hold of the foot, you can. I have an offer, Sasha. I have an offer. This is proprioception. Left hand wraps around behind your waist, half bind. Option here to bend the left knee, your right hand takes the foot. That's it. And the challenge is to keep your chest still opening up toward the left side. I know, I told you it'd all wobble. That's good. Proprioception today, so don't take it too seriously. Today is a class where even my most advanced practitioners should wobble, at least, if not fall out. So breathe and experiment. Maybe try it again. Maybe that right hand comes back to that left foot. Yeah, good. Well done. Warrior 2. You did great. I gave her no warning about that one. All right, exalt once more. We love the exalt today. It's helpful. Cycle the hands to the floor. Kick your right leg up and back, 3-legged dog, and either just hold that expression and stretch. Of course, if you want to flip, you can. So just breathe, stretch, or even flip for 3. Yeah, nice, Sash. Sash is doing a kneeling flip, which is one of my favorites. So if you want to do that as well, you can drop that left knee and do the same. Sweep it back, optional full vinyasa, or just down dog you come to in your own time. Very good. Inhale, your left leg lifts. Do peel open the hip and bend the knee and keep the shoulders nice and stable. Take an inhale Crescent lunge when you're ready. Bring that leg through. Place the foot. So I remember when I first did this variation with Ashley Dunlop ages ago, years ago, and I found that I thought she was doing the wrong thing by keeping the heel off the floor by doing humble warrior and crescent. Nope, she just wanted to make it more interesting for proprioception. So hands behind the back, clasp the hands, extend through the spine, and on your exhale, you fold. Now you really want to get that counter push, so that big push through that back heel. And just observing for you if the neck wants to relax and curve through the spine, which is more challenging for the balance, or if you want to keep that opening or gaze more forward. For 3, for 2, warrior 2, unravel and open back. Very nice. Lovely. From here, exalt your warrior. Inhale. Trikonasana, your exhale. Legs straightens, you reach, you tip. 3 unravels, breathe in, bend, sweep it down. Exhale, open up. 2 more, breathe in, bend, sweep down. Exhale, straighten and open. Once more. And you'll come into that Trikonasana for a little bit of a hold. You'll find that comfy position for the neck, whether it's looking up, forward, or down. Breathe. Just getting a little bit of those stabilizing muscles engaged, so try not to let that weight be too heavy down into that left hand. Sasha's doing it beautifully with the back of the hand and her leg. Unravel through warrior 2. Exalt right away, open up through the side waist, and use the tip forward as a counter leverage to pick up into your half moon. So we might experiment here. The hand can stay on the hip or half bind it behind your back for a little more spin open through the chest. The left hand will get light. Some of you will now even experiment with bending that right leg. Your left hand takes hold of the right foot. Take your time. You try. If you feel a little wobbly, try again. That's it. Good. Go again. Go again. So it's just experimenting here and seeing what the body does in response, because we're so used to, for those of you who know Chapasana, your top hand usually does that. But now working with the opposite hand, there's a little more challenge of proprioception and balance. Yeah, good. I know, it's cheeky, that one. Place the foot down, warrior 2. Gorgeous. One more, exalt, in breath. Cycle the hands to the floor. Kick that left leg up and back. Peel open the hips. Some of you took it for a flip, or like Sasha, right knee down, kneeling flip. So some of you are holding down dog, whatever works. For 3, 2, sweep it back when you are ready. Full vinyasa if you wish, or down dog hold, your choice. I want you in your own time to just walk your hands back toward your feet and just take a nice recovery forward fold, just ever so brief. Let the neck relax. Hopefully the body's feeling a little more awake, a little more enlivened. Slowly, slowly roll up to standing in your own time. So some of you have a block at home, and if you don't, that's okay. You can actually completely omit this step in the practice, or what I didn't actually say is you could also do this with a book that's big enough to place your foot on. So as long as it's a nice, thick, strong book, you can use that. Either way, what I want to do is elevate you off the floor a little bit, so Sash knows what we're doing. We're going to place the block or the book on its flattest profile, as you can see Sash doing there in front of you. We're going to do a bit of dancer pose, but standing up on the block. And remember I said if you don't have a prop, we're just doing dancer pose. So let's stand up with the right foot first. So stepping your right foot up onto that block. Now, if your toes, if anything should hang off the block, it's your toes. And in fact, Sash, why not? I know your feet are actually a perfect size for the block, but I actually want her toes to hang a little off the front. Let's say her pinky toe still stays on that block, because you don't really need your toes to balance, and they have a tendency to claw. So another thing that you're going to observe as we do this is that if your toes start curling around the block or clenching the block or book, we're going to try and relax them. So hover your left foot now off the floor. Good. And then bring that left foot behind you. Left hand sweeps back, takes hold of the instep of that foot. Yes, right arm can reach up. Squeeze your thighs together, so in toward each other. That'll keep your pelvic floor and abdominals engaged. Kicking the foot up and back. Now, the more you kick the foot back into the hand, the better. So kicking back will keep you stable. So now it's that detail, and those of you on a lovely squishy block like Sash, it's challenging because you've got all these lovely muscles in your legs wobbling and engaging, and that's awesome. Those of you who are on the book, it might be a little bit firmer, maybe, if you've got a hardcover especially. It's meant to challenge the balance a little bit, give you something a little bit different, and watch those toes. For 3, 2, take your time to release. Well done. Step the foot down. Beautiful. I noticed Sasha's toes clenching up because and the reason why we teach this stuff is because I'm a total clencher. I clenched my toes for so long to balance before I learned that I really didn't need them. Okay, so we're going to switch sides. So take your time to shuffle that block if you need. We'll step up with the left block, and we're going to take that bit of time to set up again. So just your pinky toe may be still on that block, the rest of the toes hanging off the front if possible. And just observe as you now hover that right foot off the floor, sorry. So you work from here to take hold of the instep of that foot, and the left arm reaches forward. Now, it's really a practice of counter or opposing forces. So the left arm reaches forward and up while the right leg kicks up and back. So everything pulling upward, but in different directions. And you take it nice and slow and really relish those wobbles. They're fantastic because it means that muscles in the legs are working that don't always work. Yeah, great. You take that time to wobble and reset. Just observe the sensation. It's making a pose that for many of you, because I know many of you who take this practice, and I know you're all very familiar with Dancer, and it's kind of familiar, so we're shaking it up a little bit. No same today. Keeping it a little bit interesting. Well done. Release, release. Take the foot down. You can shuffle that block off to the side in your own time. No rush. So let's just, from here, bring the hands to the heart. Just allow the eyes to close and just noticing if your breath was holding quite a bit in that balance sequence. That's pretty common if so. And we're just going to take this time to really observe our breath and just get it back into that low lung area. Beautiful. When you're ready, arms reach up and wide. Inhale. Exhale, you fold. Option to walk the hands forward or back, or down dog is the destination. Optional vinyasa, or just hold down dog, up to you. So from our down dog, we're going to come back to hands and knees. So from hands and knees, we are going to, just like we did at the start of class, lengthen the right leg to the back of the space. Take your time. Lengthen the left arm forward. Now remember, this pose might be enough for you in this sequence. This is your kneeling balance work. If you wish, bend the knee, take hold of the foot, kneeling dancer. So I don't want you to bother looking at the screen for this because you probably don't need to if you listen closely. I want you from here to now tuck your left toes under, keep hold of the foot in your hand, kick back to down dog with the foot still in your hand. Yes, you don't need the screen. You don't need the screen because I know Sasha's wobbling too. All right, so see how you go. Yes, that's it. You push the foot back into the hand, come back into that down dog. Now, some of you are like, my brain can't even compute this. And of course, Sasha did great. She at least got up. But then once she got up there, the holding was the hard part. So, so I want you to keep trying here because a lot of your brains are frying here and they're going, I cannot even fathom how to get off the floor. So if you can, from that kneeling position, you kick the foot back or you need to thrust through the foot or pull up through your tummy muscles. There's something that's happening that your body can't quite connect to perhaps. I've been watching, my son is walking and he's learning all these amazing new movements. And this movement for a yogi is like learning to walk. It is new muscles that don't get switched on very often. Do you want to go again this side, Sash? Or do you want to switch? She wants to switch. Okay, so she was going to do some more, but we're going to go the second side. So don't take it too seriously. And just for a moment, yeah, Sasha just did a really nice thing. She just went and let her breath out because she realized she'd maybe held the breath, which all of us will probably do with this, and that's okay. But let's reset. Left leg back, right arm lengthens forward. So you sweep the hand back in your own time. Yeah, Sasha's being wise and restabilizing her position. So you tuck the right toes under. Now maybe it's pushing through the right heel. Maybe it's kicking through the left foot. Maybe it's pulling up through your abdominals. Go again. And yes, I'm happy if you're smiling and giggling. What I did when I first learnt this was like, come on. And it really does switch on something in you. It's really brain yoga or personality yoga because it really will tell you where your drive is at today. Sasha's doing pretty good with her drive. She's even entering from the next position. Okay, so take a little more, put one more, maybe one more. So you might from here. Sasha's already jumping ahead. She's working to the next variation. Good work. Kick the foot back. That's it. Good, good, good. Beautiful. Okay. Nice. Good. That's it. Kick back. Kick back. Kick back. Kick up. Yes. Well done. Okay. Place the knees down. Take a breather. Okay. You might want to sit back on your heels, and if you want your feet pointed or if you want your toes tucked under in toe stand, doesn't matter. So I just want you to take a breather. Now, that variation is what I tend to call the hare. So the tortoise and the hare was a fable. As you know, the tortoise just took his time, plodded along slowly. The hare was fast, confident, go, go, go. And he got a bit overconfident and ended up losing the race because he sat by a tree. So with the tortoise is the more patient way to enter the pose. And for me, it took months. So what we're going to do now is the same shape, but from a different starting point. So it's called the tortoise. So we're going to be beginning in down dog and taking it very, very slow. So we're going to be hovering a foot first, then hovering a hand, and then you might stay with that. I did for months. So down dog. And some of you are like, months, really? All right, so from the down dog, I want you to hover your right leg just a bit off the floor. It doesn't have to lift to the ceiling, just whatever is a comfortable height. Yeah, that's a nice mid-height, Sash. So from here, your left hand might lift. And as you lift that left hand, your body might go, I need some more stability. I could walk the hands further in, or I could adjust. Either way, you don't want to make it like standing splits. It's still a down dog. So from here, maybe you're working both hand and foot hovering off the floor and you're sticking with that. Maybe, yes, Sash, you might be bending the knee and you might be taking hold of the foot. And if you get hold of the foot, you might eventually be kicking that foot back into the hands. So it's a different way to enter. And don't worry if your body is still working out that stability of hand and foot off floor. That's fantastic. Good, beautiful. When you're ready, you might want to rest between sides or you might switch straight over. I just want you to choose what feels good for you. So this patience, this taking your time is a really, really wonderful thing to do in your yoga practice. The previous one, the grunty hare, is not one I usually recommend in yoga practice. It's just more to ignite everything. So let's try the second side, and maybe that left leg will hover. And maybe that right hand will hover. And you might, as you do that, pay real attention to, I'm not quite stable enough. I need to adjust my hands to one side more than the other, or I need to move further back, or whatever it is. You're really listening this time rather than just using brute force. And it takes time and attention, this variation. Time and attention. That's it. And if you get that foot, it might kick back and up into the hands, and you breathe. Well done, well done. All right, let's from here Just take a moment. Yeah, Sasha's walked her hands back to her feet. You can feel free to do that. We are going to, from here, walk the hands back to where Sash is in that forward fold. Just let the head hang. I want you from here to lower your bottom down toward your heels. That's it. You're going to come on the balls of your feet, and just from here, round your spine and curve forward. So we're just, yeah, letting the spine have a little curve here. Just a little bit of a come down. This might also give you a little bit of a stretch through the calves or the Achilles, depending on if they're tight. One more big, deep breath and let it go. And in your own time, you might drop your bottom now down to the floor. Up to you. Yeah, Sasha's going to walk in. Beautiful. So maybe wiggle your legs back out again. Lengthen the legs out. We're going to take a brief forward fold. So Paschimottanasana. So your legs might start a little bent. You lengthen on the in-breath. And you exhale, fold. So your Paschimottanasana today, it doesn't matter whether the legs lengthen, whether they straighten, whether you lengthen the spine or whether you curve the spine. Just really getting some space, some breath. The muscles of the face relax. The jaw relaxes. You're really just trying to find some sensation in this posture. Doesn't matter whether you're working into a more yin or yang style version. You've done a lot of extension and activated a lot of back muscles. Some of you will still do one more back bend. Some of you will maybe omit it. We'll see. In your own time, I want you to slowly wind up. Take your time. And we're going to lay ourselves back down onto our backs. So I'm going to offer you a bridge pose here, but some of you will prefer a more passive version. You can even use your block or a prop underneath your bum if you'd rather do a supported bridge or a pontoon. Some of you will do a more active bridge, and some of you I'm going to take into full wheel and then offer you a variation. So Sash isn't going to do full wheel today. What she's going to do is whatever feels good for her, but I'm going to talk to the full wheelers and the bridges. So your choice, Sash. So up to you. So if you're working that bridge, up to you. If you want to use a prop underneath your sacrum or your back or your butt, up to you. Pushing the feet into the floor, peeling the bottom off the earth and lifting up into your bridge. Now in your bridge, it's up to you if you're working hands right there or clasping the hands behind your back underneath you, or even if you're opening up armpits to the ceiling and stretching your hands up behind your head. I'm going to speak to the full wheelers now. So for those of you who are comfortable to head to full wheel, you might be bringing your hands now by your ears, pushing to the floor and pressing up. Now, what I would love you to explore, if possible, in your full wheel, if you're very familiar with this pose, is a full wheel walk. Can you walk towards the back of your mat? Yeah, so it's up to you what you're working, Sash. You might, yeah, come onto the balls of your feet if you're in bridge. So if you're in that full wheel, can you walk? So your hand moves first, then your foot. Your hand, other hand, then your other foot. So it's like learning to literally walk again in an upside down unusual position. So this is a full wheel walk. And so if you want to try both directions, you can. Eventually, some people like to learn how to walk in circles. That's very interesting, going to the left or going to the right. When you're ready, my back benders, you might feel like, I'm ready to come down now. So you're just going to take your time, lower back down. You might want to leave the legs in neutral. You might want to hug the knees into the chest. It really doesn't matter. You'll have to tell me afterward, guys, how you went if you were in full wheel and tried that full wheel walk. I know the first time I did it, my brain fried. So today's practice has been a lot about brain yoga. So really waking up certain brain matter that doesn't get woken up day to day. No same. So when you're ready, the knees hug in toward the chest. You might massage the back into the floor a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of figure 4 to love your glutes. So your right ankle hooks above your left knee. and taking hold of the back of your left thigh and working into that figure 4 position. Just observing sensation in this right hip, and it's up to you if you're shifting the weight more over to the left or more over to the right, depending on wherever you get the best stretch. We're going to work into a spinal twist from here. So your arms will open up, your legs drop over to the left side of the space. So it's up to you, yeah, if you're crossing the legs deeply for like a twisted roots, or if you're working any other spinal twist variation, it's really up to you. That right shoulder just relaxes. Deep breaths. And when you're ready, bring the legs back to center. Easy switch, figure 4, take your time, the other side. So with these practices that we did today, you can continue into your figure 4 in your own time. With these practices we did today, you find that the first time, or even the first, 5th, even 10th time you do them, there's still a lot of challenge or wobbles. Gradually, when you keep practicing them, they become more stable, because that part of your brain that instructs or controls those muscles, or that part of your proprioception, becomes more familiar. And that's what yoga is. Of course, I don't know if you can hark back to when you did your first yoga classes, you couldn't do half the stuff you can now. Take one more full deep breath. Long exhale. The arms open up and you twist. Certain things in the yoga practice just take a little time, but it's good to be curious in the first place. To giggle when you fall. Curiosity and playfulness, in my opinion, are a very important ingredient in a yoga practice, especially a flow practice. Especially if you practiced on carpet today. When you're ready, legs back through center. You might unravel the legs. You might hug the knees one last time. You might happy baby. I want you to just do anything that brings you into a nice neutral place. It'll be whenever you're ready that you'll find your Shavasana. There's no hurry. Enjoy this time, whatever it is you're doing. We have time. Just to release any residual tension in the body, I want you to take an inhale through your nose. Let it go, sigh out. 2 more like that. Inhale. Release. And once more. Let go. And then let yourself soften into your Shavasana. Notice if the mind has wandered. Come back to focusing on your breath, even if you're going back to a breath count like the one we did at the start of class. So this time on the mat, is not just about getting some mental space or even just some space or relaxation for your nervous system. It is both those things, and they are super important. But what this time also does, for those of you who love the asana, love the poses, is that your body is currently downloading the practice. While your mind does very little, while you meditate, your body downloads the practice into the cells. Kinesthetic memory is remembering the wobbles on the poses, creating the neural pathways so that the next time you come to these postures, your body is more familiar, your body is stronger, more flexible, more stable. Shavasana and taking your Shavasana for an extended period, if possible, is pivotal to a strong yoga practice, as well as to a mind that has a little more space, a nervous system that is a little more released, a little less high-strung. You can feel free to stay a bit longer in your Shavasana. You might otherwise choose to wiggle the fingers a little bit, wiggle the toes. If it feels inviting to stretch the arms beyond the ears towards the back of the space, you can. Take all the time that you need to maybe lengthen out or do as you wish. You might roll over onto your right hand sides. And in your own time, slowly come up to seat. Just allow your hands to rest your knees, neck, shoulders just gently relaxed. And observe the body, any sensations that are apparent. Hopefully your body feels a little different to when you woke up this morning. Bring your palms together. Namaste.